If you're finally ready to escape the matrix, then you're going to want to watch this video. I want to make this video as easy to understand for you as possible. Here on my channel, I have a very important goal to truly help people create a life that they love, and so I want all of my videos to be very easy to understand and very to the point. In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you what a matrix is and how to unplug yourself from the current matrix and how to plug yourself into a new one. Let's first start with what is the matrix? A matrix is simply a reality that we live in. And there are so many different matrices, aka realities, that we are diving in and out of all day long. Sarah over there is living in her matrix, Bill over here is living in his matrix, you over there are living in yours. How a matrix is formed is off of a set of beliefs. So it first starts in the subconscious, then it becomes a belief, then based off of that belief we take action, which turns that belief into physical reality. Okay, it hardens it, it makes it solid, like somebody's idea was this pen and now it's a solid pen. That is a matrix that we are living in. It is one big giant physical reality. And so when you hear escape the matrix, it simply just means leave the reality that you're in and choose into a new one. Choose into one that is going to better you, help you, push you forward, bring you to success. Now, if you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, there is a scene where you see people literally plugged in to these wire-like things, and they are plugged in to a reality. They have to unplug themselves from that and be flushed out to leave the matrix. It is literally so eerie how real that is for us. We need to unplug from the matrix that we're in if we're going to experience a different life. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of a matrix. Let's say Sarah grew up in a poor neighborhood. Food was scarce and money was hard to come by. Let's say Sarah watched her parents argue over money. Let's say Sarah watched her parents split up over money. Okay, now Sarah is thinking money's hard to come by, food is always scarce. This is the matrix that Sarah lives in. This is the reality that she lives in. If Sarah wants to experience a life full of wealth and abundance, she's going to have to unplug herself from that reality. She's going to have to unplug herself from that matrix. She's going to have to go out and search for people who are actually really wealthy. She's going to have to go out and look at people who came out of poverty and put themselves into wealth. And of course, she's going to have the faith that she can do it herself. Now, if Sarah wants to change her life, she is going to have to do something that is so easy, yet so difficult for the average individual to master. Sarah is going to have to start ignoring her current reality as what is real. And she's going to have to start putting herself into the reality that she desires. And the way she's going to have to do that is by engaging emotionally with the idea of wealth, abundance, lots of resources, tons of food. This is one of the most difficult things for people to grasp. It was one of the most difficult things that I have had to grasp. It took me probably nearly a decade to have the inner strength to actually do this. Now, scientific studies have shown our brain does not know the difference between physical reality and imagining. All it's responding to is what we are emotionally engaged with. So if Sarah can have the discipline to sit down, go into meditation and imagine herself as so abundantly wealthy to the point that maybe she's in tears or to the point that she's laughing and cracking up, then she is going to attract that to her. She is going to have to master this. In conjunction, when she comes out of meditation and she opens her eyes and she walks out that door and she sees all of her family in poverty, all of her neighbors in poverty, all of her friends in poverty, she is going to have to start ignoring. She is going to have to remain true to her vision, which was that she is already wealthy. This is where people start to usually get lost. It takes a very certain level of discipline to be able to do this throughout your day. This is why you hear some incredible people talk about how important your environment is. We are literally having to brainwash ourselves. So we need to remove ourselves from people, places, and things which do not support the reality that we are wanting to create. So we have to stay away from these poverty-stricken minds in the beginning, okay, and these poverty-stricken places in the beginning, because they can really trigger us back into that reality if we do not have the mental fortitude and the inner strength and that faith to get through it. Okay, so this is how we essentially break a matrix. We start to deny our current circumstances, and we go deep into visualization and into meditation, and when we become emotionally engaged with the reality that we ideally want. This is how we create, and I'm gonna give you a little test to do for yourself today to prove this to you. I want you to choose something that you are entirely emotionally unattached to. Like, think of a red car, or think of a blue bird, or just something very random. I want you to imagine the picture of this in your mind right now. I want you to see this. I want you to imagine yourself just going about your day and you see this image that you're imagining right now. Tell yourself, you're gonna see this today. You're gonna see this today, okay? I want you to go throughout your day, let it go. Don't be surprised when you see it. Don't be surprised when you see the blue bird. Don't be surprised when you see the red car or whatever it is that you chose. If you don't see it today for whatever reason, you will see it tomorrow. Tell yourself, I will see it. I will see it. You will see it tomorrow. Some people's minds are faster at this than others. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't happen in a day. You will see this. This is how we create our reality. We have a program in our mind, and the program is literally the projector for this physical reality. But until you understand that, you're gonna go out in your day and you're gonna be triggered by a series of events that happen. You must become this person who is so disciplined mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, if you are going to experience a new reality for yourself. You cannot walk around and get triggered all day long. And of course, sometimes it's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to be triggered. And if and when that happens, relax. Remember, okay, I was triggered. That's okay. And you're going to want to just go about your day again from that place, that reality that you know you're living in, the one where you have your desire. So for example, if you had the amount of money that you wanted, how are you going to feel? I know for me, the answer is relaxed. I just feel relaxed. That's it. I feel like, oh, okay, cool, I can chill. If there is a specific person that you want to attract, how are you going to feel if that person's in your life? You're in a relationship with this person now. You guys are happy. How do you feel? How do you feel now that this person is in your life? If it's health that you're seeking, how do you feel now that you're completely healthy? How do you feel now? How do you see your life? What do you feel about life? What is your relationship to life now that you are completely healthy? How are you going about your day to day? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? This is the state. These are the states you want to put yourself in. And if you truly want this, then you're going to have to overcome all of the things that your head's going to tell you when you go back out into your current reality. Some examples are, this isn't real life. This is fake. This isn't working out for me. Maybe it worked for some other people, but just not me. Maybe I just have to go through this for some reason. Maybe there's a lesson I'm learning. Whatever your head is telling you, you have to ignore that. Another thing you're going to have to ignore is the emotional triggers, the stress, the frustration, the why isn't it happening for me yet? I really went deep into my meditation this morning and felt it. Where is it? You're going to have to ignore these things. Also, don't be surprised when you start doing this work and you get bombarded with people coming up to you affirming all the things that you're trying so hard to get out of. Don't be surprised when shit hits the fan in your current reality. You have to understand that this does not have to be your reality anymore, but you cannot become emotionally engaged with it. Our emotional engagement is what makes it real, because once we become emotionally engaged, once we respond, we're saying yes. This is my physical reality, like as if we're in a trance, okay? We're going yes. Once we're like, oh, this person's so annoying, yes, we just said yes. Once we're like, oh my God, where's the money? Yes, we just said yes to that reality. Once we're like, when am I gonna meet this person? Yes, we just said yes. Do you understand? Every time you become emotionally engaged, you are saying yes to the reality that you don't want. This takes time, it takes consistency, it takes dedication, it takes being ready. Now, I do want to say, if you have grown up in a toxic situation, or if you have a lot of trauma from your past, if you are needing to heal and you feel like you have not fully healed through these things, then you may start this inner work, but you might not really progress into it until you can let go of your past. You're truly going to have to let go of all the things that happened. You're truly going to have to let go of all the things that you no longer want that are happening right now. So I highly recommend that you sit down with yourself and take yourself through some inner work to heal from the past, or go to therapy if you feel like you need to speak about things that you're just carrying around day to day and recreating every single day. Go get the help that you need in order to let this go so that you can create a new reality for yourself. Otherwise, you're just painting over top old paint, painting over top old paint, and in the meantime, you're painting the old picture that you keep painting while trying to paint this new one, and it's all this weird jumbled mess. So I highly recommend to recover from your past and to really let go, to really forgive before we can get really deep into this work. Because if we're still holding on to the past, we're going to be at odds with what we're trying to accomplish now, and it's going to cause a lot of frustration. I highly recommend my regulating your nervous system video that I'm going to link. I don't know which side it's going to be on, but I'm going to link it up above. So please watch that video if you feel like there are things that you need to heal from in your past. It could potentially be very helpful for you. There are some tips in there that I added that really helped me to heal from my past. And it wasn't until I did those things that I was really able to get very deep into this actual letting go of the current circumstances, letting go of and not being triggered anymore by what's going on around me, and just really placing myself in the reality that I want to be in. Once you're in that place, you have this clean blank space, you have this clean canvas to paint on and to create this new picture, this new image, this new reality in your life. I want you to understand before I end this video today that this is the real life. The image that you're going off of in your head, the reality that you plant into your mind, the one that you become emotionally engaged with is real life. Whether or not you're becoming emotionally engaged with your physical current circumstances or an image in your head of what you truly desire is entirely up to you. Whatever you're becoming emotionally engaged in is the reality that you live in. And then you make decisions from this place, which again, like I mentioned earlier, make it solid reality over and over and over again until you start changing what you're responding to with your feelings. I also highly recommend looking into some Neville Goddard content. Neville Goddard literally taught this concept that we're speaking about in this video today. He taught law of assumption, which is simply just assuming what we talked about in this video, assuming that you're in the reality that you want to be in. You're in it now. It's not in the future, it's right now. You have the wealth now, you have the specific person now, you have the perfect health now, you have the dream car now. Now, how do you feel? How does that feel? And if you're not sure, you just have to work at it. You just have to work at it like going to the gym. These are muscles that we are training. You just have to work at feeling it, envisioning it, experiencing it as if it's right now, and having the mental and emotional discipline to do that each day, every single day, all day long. Once you master this in your life, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You no longer care. You don't care. You don't even respond anymore. It's like you could care less because you are literally in another reality in your heart and in your mind. Like you live in another world. You're not living in this old matrix anymore. You don't care. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that you now have a better understanding of what a matrix is and what it means and feels like to experience a matrix. And I hope that you have a better understanding of how to unplug yourself from this matrix and plug yourself into a new one, which, like I mentioned multiple times, is whatever it is you are emotionally engaged with, whether it's the one on the outside or the one in your head. Whichever one you are emotionally engaged with is going to be a reality. I also want to reassure you that you're not going to get stuck in this la la land in your head. It's going to happen for you. It's going to physically materialize for you. So if you want that specific person, you're eventually going to see them show up in your physical reality, so long as you keep feeling it as if it's happening already. It is inevitably going to happen for you. So don't have a fear that you're going to get stuck just in this world. Have faith, especially on the days that you're tested, especially on the days that your physical reality is showing you something different, which leads me to the very last point I want to make here. It has been scientifically proven that our current physical reality is actually lagged, and what we are experiencing is the most recent past. So if you sat down this morning and you put yourself in your meditation and you became really emotionally involved, then you opened your eyes, went back into your world, and it mirrored back something totally different to you. All that's being mirrored back to you is the most recent past that you put emotional energy into. As you give yourself a few days to emotionally engage with and act as if you're in this reality now, because you are, it is real, okay? What you're imagining is real. Give it a couple days and you will see your physical reality mirror this back to you. The more difficult it is for you to believe that it's real, the more difficult it is for you to believe that it can happen, the longer it will take. Once you decide this is real, this has happened for me, once you understand that it has happened for you, once you actually experience it, you'll know that it's done. It'll be a very specific feeling. You're going to be like, that was real. You know it's only a matter of time before it comes in your reality and you are no longer wanting for it. Remember always that you create your life. I hope that you got a lot out of this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. If it was difficult to understand, please just rewatch it again and again as many times as you need. As always, I am sending you guys so much love.